The Porsche Macan S has big power for a small SUV. I'll include a link to the Porsche Salt Lake's website in the description down below. They're providing us with this Macan S. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Matt Hendry. Let's get right into it. Under the hood is a 2.9 liter turbo V6 that goes through a 7-speed PDK. Fuel economy is 17 around town, 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 375 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. And the Macan has the bigger hood where it's got cutouts for the headlights because of how far the hood comes down. I like it. If you're looking for more straight to the point reviews like this, make sure you subscribe. Love the red paint on this particular one, definitely pops out quite a bit. And then you do have really nice daytime running lights there wrapped around the headlight. There's another lighting element down below for the turn signal indicator, and then you've got more red mixed in with the rest of the trim. And I think in bright red this looks sporty enough, but you guys can let me know what you think. 265 by 40 by 21 for the tire and wheel setup up front. You've got the nice big red brake caliper. Love the silver on the wheels too. And then out back it's 295 by 35 by 21 for those you wondering. Here's a side profile of the Macan. Again, this is the smaller size. The Cayenne is the bigger one. Macan has the Porsche car key fob, which is really neat. You've got your lock and unlock opening for the hatch too. Now the seats do fold down flat in the Macan, and there's quite a bit of storage space here in the back. Again, this is not a huge SUV, like I've said. There's also a cargo cover built in, and then this is, of course, power, so just press that. Got the light bar here in the back. Pretty much all the Porsches have something like this now. And then here's the rest of the rear. You can see you've got 4 exhaust tips, and there's actually a receiver hitch there in the center. Let's now take a look at the interior. Regular windows out back and up front actually, and then really tight fit and finish with everything in normal Porsche fashion. You really have to come and touch everything in the car to be able to see. And the seats are perforated all down the center. Legroom in the back is good. We also have a little storage pocket here. We've got some vents in the back, our own climate zone as well. Kind of, we can change temperature at least. Heated seats, some USB ports. And then even though it has a panoramic sunroof, headroom back here is pretty good. Let's now take a look at the front. Blind spot monitoring, like I said, regular glass up front. And then this is nice with the trim down below as well. All of our window controls here. And then the mirrors do power fold in. We also have memory seats. The seats are perforated all down the center. And you've got a ton of adjustments there on the side. Lumbar support too. Nice physical controls, obviously to start up the car, but then also for the headlights. The steering wheel has really nice trim all around, stitching in the center, paddles on the back, practical controls on the front face. They're pretty minimal with the Porsches, which I like. So you basically have like voice command controls, for example. You got your drive mode select here, as well with the dial, and then your stalks in the back for stuff like the cruise control, windshield wipers, all of that. Now the Macan is still rocking the mostly analog gauges, which I really like. You guys know that I'm a big analog person. I just think that it looks really nice. And you still get that screen off to the side, which you can change the information that's displayed there. So it still has some level of customization. Clock on the dash. Always got to have that. Yeah, look at that beautiful trim. Really tight. Now we do have this nice 360 camera system. So you can see all throughout the Macan. And then as for the infotainment system, again, it's a really good unit. I think that it's not quite as quick as what I just tested out in the Panamera, but it seems like this is still a really good system for the most part. Everything's pretty intuitive. Got some physical controls down below for the radio. I love this shifter. This is my favorite Porsche shifter for the automatics because it's so satisfying to put it into gear. We do have some physical controls for like the climate, your heated ventilated seats, and this is when Porsche had the like control stack that went all the way down. It's like your suspension adjustment. It's got the height adjustable suspension too, the exhaust, and then over here more climate stuff and stuff like your auto stop start too. Got some cup holders, is that console there too? Nice trim there on the top with that. And then some controls up top for like the center, for example, and some bits of safety tech. And then again, you got that shade over the roof. Porsche Macan S, got quite a few options added to this one. This thing you'll see with Porsches, so that air suspension is an option. It's not standard equipment. But anyways, total MSRP in this one, $106,890. Let's take the Macan S out and see how it performs. Let us set off in the Macan S. Man, you know what? Monday's usually like not a fun day because you got to go back to work, but I'm filming Porsches. I just realized that. I'm like, this is Monday. It's the first day of the week, and I'm doing filming Porsches. So, thanks to Matt Hendry for that. So actually getting up and moving here, very, very smooth. Very smooth. Now, usually when you have a dual clutch, it can be kind of choppy, but Porsches, they figured it out. PDKs that they have, this is the 7-speed, they also have the 8-speed now. They're just good. They just work. The suspension on this is pretty good. What drive mode am I in? Just in normal. And, you know, this does kind of have like a dual personality to an extent, which is nice. Or it can just be this luxury car and it feels like it's just got tons of torque. Yeah, I think out of all the manufacturers, Porsche and BMW are the best when it comes to just straight turbo engines. No hybrids or anything, but just straight turbo engines, low-end torque. And more specifically, BMW's inline-6, their B58. Whether it's a Porsche, you know, whether it's the V6 or the flat 6, or even their flat 4, or the V8s that they have, they've got a lot of engines. It seems like all their turbo engines, they just are really responsive. And now they've got some hybrid stuff happening in some of the cars, which I hope to test out in the near future. They've got even better response, which is crazy to think about. This is already really good. Yeah, instantly gets more aggressive. That's what it's all about. It also lowers the car. It's the benefit of having that height adjustable suspension. Is that, you know, you go into sport mode and you can have a lower center of gravity. Yeah, see, and that's just not even full throttle at all. Just so responsive, though. Porsche horsepower. It's so smooth, and it's just perfect. And the thing is, here's the thing that I think Porsche shows. If you tune a transmission properly, if you tune an engine properly, you don't have to give the car an insane amount of horsepower for it to accelerate really well. Because, you know, all these other automakers, they have to make up for their crappy transmission tuning and crappy engine tuning with giving a car insane amounts of horsepower just so it feels fast, because the engine's choppy, the transmission's choppy. But it's like this, you got to drive a Porsche to understand. It's just smooth all the way through. The bottom of the power band to the top of the power band, smooth. And I think that's super underrated in terms of a driving experience. And the thing that's impressive to me is that Porsche does that with a V6. Like, V6s are not smooth engines, typically. And somehow Porsche has figured out how to make this feel incredibly smooth. And again, a lot of that's the transmission tuning. But yeah, this is fun. This is fun. Man, I can't even park a small car. Save my life. Yeah, I like this segment of SUV is obviously kind of niche, right? The smaller, because most people that buy SUVs, they kind of, especially luxury SUVs, they want big, right? That's stuff like the Cayenne. But I like it because you get the SUV practicality and you get something that's like that's lightweight, tossable, fun. There's just a lot that goes into it. So it's the Macan S.